Okay, good afternoon. As promised, I'm going to be sharing with you what you learned yesterday when I could not be at class because of internet issues. See if I can find my screen. Okay, so the lesson we should have done yesterday was elements and principles of design. Now, for this lesson, the objectives, you should be able to identify the design principles and techniques in floral art and interior scope, and you're expected to identify design elements and principles, which we started last class. And having done that, you are going to be expected to implement them through the medium of floral material. So we're going to be using flowers after a while, and you are going to prepare geometric floral design using cut flowers, and that is if you have them. When you say cut, I'm talking about the natural flowers, and we are also going to use the artificial or the silk flowers, and we're just going to touch on corsage and boutonnieres, and you are going to be preparing a simple asymmetrical design for a specific occasion, and that will be the SBA question. So I want you to learn the elements of and principles of design really good, or as best as possible, before we go into design. So here goes. Now, knowing the elements and principles of design are very, very important. Once you get those going, students, you will be comfortably doing your floral arrangement. Now, the principles are the guiding constants that allow floral design to be pleasing to the eye. So when you look at it, you say, wow, this looks good, right? Now, the elements now are what you use to achieve the principles. So that's the difference between the definition there. Now, you are going to be doing more research to, see, because I've given you some of these already, where you were asked to find pictures of the different elements, so you have an idea of what they look like. And it's very important that you know these. No, because these principles and elements are the same for the world of art, it may be good that you know that they appear in dress. Look at what I have on. So both sides of this outfit are the same. That speaks about balance. All right, I have lines in this. See, I have diagonal line coming here, and I have at my shoulder I have a vertical line coming down. It could be that I don't have any horizontal line. That's a line going across. I could have something going across my chest. That would be a horizontal line. So the elements and principles of design are all over. They are in your furniture, in your settee, everywhere in your clothing. And we utilize them also in floral arrangement to make them pleasing. Right? You can browse through magazines and see if you see these in magazines. The element and principles of design. And we are going to, if you notice, I highlight color. Color is very important. Very important, and we're going to look at this separately. So you know how to mix and match your colors, you know what primary, secondary, and so on. Now, floral design is based on the fundamental principles which are applicable to all forms of art, and these principles are the guideline for construction of flowers arrangement. And if you want to master the art, you must know how to organize your material. So as I said before, you can use fresh flowers, as the one from the garden, or you can use artificial flowers. I'm going to pause a minute and get... Okay, so these are natural flowers. This is a bird of paradise. When I went on my walk this morning, I picked these on the roadside. Bird of paradise, maybe some of you have them in your community. I don't really know the name of this one, but this I also picked from someone's garden that was at the roadside as well. Right, so these are natural flowers. You have a lot of other names of natural flowers, and this now is our silk flowers. It was a little arrangement that I made. It's a little pulled up right now, but this is the artificial flowers that you are going to be using. If you have natural ones at home, no problem. I remember I asked you to take some pictures of the natural flowers in your community, and you're going to Google and find the names, right? So I'm going to Google and find the name of this one too. There's a way of doing that. Okay, so we are continuing. Now, containers, you can use any container to do your floral arrangement. Okay, my stuff is moving. Now we are going to go in detail in that in a little while. Now, the principles and elements of floral design provide a means for organizing floral material into pleasing arrangement. Floral designers at all levels must use them guidelines routinely, whether they are creating very simple, basic styles or very detailed contemporary bouquet. We are going to be going simple. And as you practice, you are going to become very, good at it. And you maybe don't even have to follow a step. But until you know that, you follow the rules. Now we are going to be looking at the elements. Now, what are the elements? And we say the elements is what makes the principles achievable. Make balance and rhythm and proportion, which are the principles. The elements now are color, line, form, and texture. And some books give some others, right? But I'm going to be explaining these in this lesson. Alright? Now, these are the physical characteristics of material used in floral composition. You can actually see them. So you see the color, say it's red. You can see the line, say it's running from top to bottom or it's going across. You can see the texture. You can see that the flowers, it's smooth, it's rough. Right? Can look at the texture for this one. This looks rough, ruggy. Right? This one, texture, it's a little smoother. Alright? So you can see this, and you can see that the color for this is yellow and red, and you have a little green. This is cream and green. So the elements, you can actually see them. Now, color, too many color is the most important element, because that is what you see. And Isaac Newton discovered that blending of color gives a spectrum. So he recognized that color, red, orange, blue, green, blue, and violet, right? By blending the spectrum into a circle, he developed what you call the color wheel, and you are going to be expected to be doing a color wheel. So I'm telling you from now, you need to get some crayons or markers, because you are paint, you are going to be creating your own color wheel. Now, color is a vital part of the world. We all love color. We can see it in the sky, water, flowers, nature. If you look around us, I'm looking outside now and I'm seeing a lot of green and brown, and some cherries on the tree are red. Wow. Right, so all different colors. And our eyes respond to these. They make us happy or they make us sad. Now, light is necessary to see color. Every color in the spectrum can be found in daylight, like it's daylight time now. So when an object reflects all color, we see the object as white, right? That when all colors comes on an object. Now, if the object now absorbed the light, so the object suck up the light, then we are going to see black. So in the night, all of the light is absorbed, so we see black. In the day, when the colors are absorbed, then we are going to see white. Maybe you don't understand that, but one day you will. Alright, now the color wheel. Now, to understand and achieve success in design, you must, students, be familiar with the color wheel. So the pigment theory divides the color wheel into two types, warm and cool colors. The warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. And the cool colors are green, blue, and violet. Violet is what we call purple. Those are cool colors. Now, or a lighter shade of purple, I should say. The warm colors now are called advancing colors and requires less light to be seen. These are important factors to remember when creating floral design. So, the warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. Alright, those are the warm colors. Now a sample color wheel is provided, and we are going to, when you go into color, you will see more of that, but we're just looking at the elements right now. Now a shape When you talk about form now, form is a shape that has a third dimension. And the three basic forms used in design are the circle, the square, and the triangle. You all know that. So the triangle here, right? The square would be, if I add another, get my arms straight. This one. Alright, so you know what a square is. I'm just trying to get my arms, right? The proper dimension. And then you have the circle now. Would be round. Right? So those are form. Right? And the three dimension. Then we have fragrance. And when we talk about fragrance, we talk about the smell. So not all flowers, artificial flowers don't have any smell. These rose, you know, this is natural. This has a little funny-ish smell, right? But rose, we know, have lovely fragrance, and some other flowers when you smell them, and people use these for romance. Give somebody. Now line now is the visual movement between 2 points. So from my head to my shoulder, right? The movement, so it's coming down. Alright, that's a line. A line gives an arrangement, structure, shape, movement, excitement, height, yes, width, and depth. And there are 5 lines in Western line style. So we have vertical, top to bottom, horizontal going across. You have curvilinear, you have zigzag line, and you have diagonal line. Now you all know what those are. Eh? Now pattern are repetitive compositions of line, form, color, texture, and shape. So you have like 3 vertical lines. You know, you repeat them, so you have one over this side, you have another one over the other side. Alright? And we can repeat the texture, we can repeat the color. So we have one red, then we have another red. We have a blue, then we have another blue. Alright? Then we have space. Okay, so we were at size. So size now is the physical dimension of an object of floral design. So is it a big one? Is it a small one? When we are going to be doing yours, you are going to be doing some small ones just for practice. Now the space, 3-dimensional area of floral design encompassing negative and positive space. And I'll do another presentation to show you all of these. Then texture, surface quality of the foliage or container. So it's feeling an item as well as a visual feeling. So you feel it to see how it touch. Then the vocabulary of color. So we want to look at some terms now. Hue is a particular color. Alright. So that is a synonym for color. And the quality of the color decide the family name. Then you have chroma. Chroma now is the purity of a color, and it's by its degree of freedom from white or gray. So chroma refers to the intensity, the strength, or the weakness of a color. So some red, very, very red, right? And some green, very green, and then they come down to lighter shades. So when you talk about chroma, we're talking about the purity of a color, and the degree of freedom from white to gray, and the intensity or the strength of the color. Intensity now refers to the dullness or the brightness of a color. Those some terms. Shade is any color that has black added to it. So if you add black to a color, then you're going to get a shade. So if you add black to red, you're going to get burgundy. Tint now is any color that has white added to it. For example, added white to red, you may get pink. Tone, any color that has gray added to it, and you're going to get a grade complement. Value is the brightness or lightness of a color. For example, the value of red changes when white is added to it, and you get a lightened color of pink. Alright, so we are going to stop here today, and then when we pick up back, we're going to be looking at